Yo, what up? It's your boy 12, aka David Shaw, aka Raka the Writer. I'm kind of doing a little hybrid between my two video blogs. I just thought this would be relevant for both of them. For my Raka the Writer at Twitter and my David Shaw Sports at Twitter. Like I said, I do video blogs on different things, but it's kind of a, a mix. So, basically Raka the Writer. R.A. Kwame Elohim is going to be chilling at the corner store. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm sitting in traffic, so I figured I had a little time to talk. I want to talk about culture and how it, culture and heritage and how it's reflected in the sports world and how it's received in the sports world. I was just watching the Houston Texans play against, I want to say it was the Colts. I think it was the Colts a couple of weeks back. And Jalen Strong caught a touchdown from the Hail Mary, which they like to call it a Jail Mary now. And he started doing this little dance, after he caught it. It was like, this is dude, first time getting on the field. He hadn't seen the field. But as soon as he got his touchdown, he broke his dance out. It's like, what, you've been practicing on, you've been waiting on that moment, right? But it was kind of funny. But, I just thought about it. I can just imagine these people that's probably sitting on their armchair, and like, look at this guy celebrating and dancing. And he hasn't even played yet, just like pretty ticked off about it. Because I hear it all the time. I hear about and to be honest with you, it's usually people of European descent, American white people that are the ones complaining about the celebrations in basketball and football, and most of the times they're complaining about a black athlete that's doing the celebrating, and not all the time, because not all black athletes are big on celebrating. Like Barry Sanders never really celebrated, and he's perhaps the greatest running back ever and one of the greatest football players ever. But so it's not all of the black athletes that celebrate, but it's very prominent. And the reason I'm bringing that up is culture and heritage. See, a lot of things that we still do today, we brought over here from wherever our ancestors originated, and the culture that was established there. And the culture that was established for most quote-unquote African Americans, people forget that when we so used to saying African Americans, we actually forget that black people came from Africa. And we brought certain cultural habits over here with us on the slave ships. And it didn't get, a lot of people say this got taken away from us. Of course, a lot of things got taken away from us over here. Once we started getting having to assimilate into what is now the American culture. But prior to that, we had our own culture. You know what I mean? We did our own thing. We had our own celebrations. And one thing I can say that a lot of I don't want to say a lot of white people. Because a lot of black people don't really understand our culture prior to coming over here either. But the one thing I can say is that Africans celebrate everything. Still, traditional African societies right now celebrate everything. There's a party and a dance and an appreciation for everything. Everything you do, there's a ritual, and guarantee you there's going to be some drums playing and some people out there dancing and smiling and drinking and having a merry time. And we've been like that for 100,000 years or more, 200,000. You know what I mean? That's the culture that was established, and we didn't lose all of that when we came over here. So yeah, when Jalen Strong got his butt out on that field and caught that touchdown over all those dudes jumping up trying to grab it from him, and he pulled it down, guess what he did? He became an African instantly, because he started dancing. He went right to the back of the end zone and did his little dance. Like, he started bouncing. Before you know it, he was bouncing. It's like, that's what we do, man. It's not to show anybody up. You know what I mean? But in all honesty, African people are connected to the earth, and in essence connected to the universe, and we are grateful. We always have been grateful to Mother Earth for every single blessing that we get. Every time we sat down to eat, because we pulled food out of the ground. This is before the grocery stores and stuff over here, what have you. But we pulled food out the ground, and we were able to sustain ourselves and feed our children and all that stuff, because Mother Earth blessed us with that, and we celebrate it. We celebrate her. We celebrate the rains. You know what I mean? We celebrate the stars in the sky, because that's what we use to navigate our way across, the dark continent. And I'm saying dark because it was literally dark. There wasn't any street lights out there. And most of the times that we traveled at night. In the sea, Ancient Africans were sailing, and when they sailed based on the stars. That's how they navigated. So we were thankful for that. So we celebrate everything. So yeah, we get up and dunk and throw down a monster dunk, and next thing you know, Larry Johnson is screaming out the top of his lungs. You know what I mean? Boys dunking and turn around. Next thing you know, you're doing DeAndre Jordan doing the south side on the sideline. We've been doing that for 100,000 years. We might not know why, but we brought it over here from Africa. You know what I mean? In the same way, so that's why I come. The Europeans don't get it when they say, "Well, I'm American. I'm not a European." Man, you are a European by culture. You brought a culture. Your ancestors brought a culture over here when they came over in their boats. You know what I mean? They didn't come out of the ground here. They immigrated, just like pretty much everybody else immigrated over here from somewhere else. And with the exception of Native Americans, which their ancestors immigrated here as well, and ended up, that's a whole different discussion, but everybody here are descendants of some kind of immigrant. And so, like I said, the European brought a certain idea and a certain culture over here that a lot of it has changed since, interacting with Native Americans and, the Africans that came over, and then other people that have been immigrating since. We've all had to deal with each other in some shape, form, or fashion, so we've rubbed off on each other, and now we have a different culture from what our native lands are, but it's still rooted in our native lands. So, I can see why someone of European descent really does not grasp the concept of why these people celebrate every time they do something. It's because it's part of our culture. And I see why you don't get it, because it wasn't a part of yours. You know what I mean? And it's not anything racist, and people think that everything is about being racist or racial or what have you. It's culture. It's all about culture. When societies develop a way of life and a way of living, and when you pass that thing down for thousands of years, that's going to be a part of you and a part of your heritage. So, you know what I mean? I just wanted to, like I said, I want to touch bases on that. A lot of things that we just totally take for granted because we don't do our research and really just think about things, like, why does 1 + 1 = 2? You know what I mean? And it's 1 + 1 = 2 because, well, in this situation, it's because, we brought a culture over here, and it's still a part of us, whether, we know it or not, because it wasn't in our history books. You know what I mean? We had to go find these things and do some research and apply it. So anyway, I just wanted to touch bases on that, man, because I just thought it'd be something interesting as far as applying this to the sports world. That was something else I wanted to cover, and it slipped my mind. I'm hoping I can grab it real quick. If not, then I guess I'll just address it on another video. I can't grab it. It was from the European side that I wanted to touch on as far as sports goes. But anyway, I can't grab it. I forgot what it was. I'll do another video later, touching on that aspect, and just make it part 2 of this one. So anyway, man, let me concentrate on this road. About to go to the studio and go lay a verse down, a song down, because I'm feeling like a robot. I hadn't recorded in a while. So it's time to go get busy. Anyway, man, y'all be blessed, be safe out there. Peace.